Those melodical sounds at the background represent Gauteng life, back and very sharp. This time around, we are reflecting on the festive summer using the sounds of Amapiano as our backdrop, the soundtrack that have characterized our generation. Welcome to Gauteng Life. My name is Barba Gaoganediwe, your champion host as ever. As we always do, we bring you test and change makers into the show to engage, to share, and collaborate on how best can we use the versatile economy to propel our Golden City region forward. As we always say, if Johannesburg's work, if Gauteng works, South Africa works, and Africa rises. Today, my guest is no other than a very popular young man, part of the phenomenal Amapiano movement. Everything Amapiano in this country, including its subgenres of three steps and others, this is the guy to go to. He is so popular. He will tell us why he is so popular. Thulani Way, welcome to Gauteng Life, my boy.
Thank you so much for having me. How are you, Gauteng?
Hi, how are you?
Zwakale Gauteng.
How are you?
Well and even easy to keep it calm and collected. It's in life.
So, Thulani, let's start right at the beginning. How did this come about? I mean, you are the go-to guy. Anything that has to do with Amapiano and the movement, you seems to be right there at the thick of things. What makes you so attractive and this magnet that everyone goes to?
I was gratitude to have such elements of life, to have people around you, to be a guy, to be called. Because it happens that most of the guys, when piano took over, were within the forefront of it, and then most of the time it was just only like 5 of us.
Yeah,
we could count the piano artists at that point.
Back then. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, we could
Who
count.
were they?
We could say Kabza, Maporisa, Angelique, Demtuda, Stokey, Jaivani.
Yes.
We could name them. It was more than 10.
Yeah.
And then we could go into something because it was a bit of a camp before COVID came in.
Yeah.
And then it hit. And then it made sure Jobbik Day it was booking a nice artist. And okay, these are the guys.
Yeah.
And then after COVID, mid-COVID, it expanded to everyone.
That has been a phenomenal growth. You can't even say that it's just been in for a few years. And for me, what is fascinating and what I like, which represent inclusivity, is how that the genre have quickly embraced, everybody. You now have phenomenal female Amapiano, honeys, rocking, and that, as you know, in many genres, especially in the DJing space, where female have very little access.
Yes.
You look at the dance music, house music and its different forms in the country, and probably globally, very few women participate. But Amapiano seems to be breaking those unnecessary boundaries. Your reflection?
My reflection into such, it's more of like a gender equality within the space of music entertainment. I'm looking into the way they dance, the way they dress, the way they do things within themselves, the way they push each other to do dope. I think like Amapiano is given to a point whereby artists themselves, not even artists, human beings to believe within themselves that they can still do it. They can still make sure that they deliver and you can trust them.
And I guess this also reflects on another background issue that majority of these artists that continues to make global impact.
Yes.
If you look at their background, I mean, take Angelique. We hope he will be here in studio.
Yes.
In the next show. From his bedroom studio, been able to make global hits. But I remember, and many people will be usually being surprised, probably before COVID, I mean, we were at Makelone Festival with Angelique playing back-to-back.
Yes.
Myself and Angelique playing back-to-back. And I look at him and I say, like, this is the guy I was playing with. Will you say that their background, where they come in from very difficult situations, helped in shaping them to persevere and to be able to use this platform not just to improve themselves or be popular, but to make ends meet out of it, improve their families, and in the process, raise the profile of their hoods, ultimately South Africa and the continent.
It goes to me as a point of like looking into Amapiano space, not only for angelic side.
Yeah.
The genre of Amapiano has made young people to believe into themselves. Has made a point whereby you can still do it with what you have, with whatever that you can think of around yourself. Make sure you can go in and represent what you have, because most of the time people think like you need a fancy setup, you need a big platform. No. Piano has changed and it has disrupted the mentality of human beings to say you can still do this thing with or without anything that you have.
Yeah.
And your surroundings, and you can call your friends to assist you to grow.
Yeah.
Look now, the economy has grown to a point where young people are amongst others are even in the space of working in the creative sector.
Absolutely. So those opportunities that came as a result, will you say, out of your experience and interacting with the kids, the current generation have, to some extent, looked at what were the pitfalls from their predecessors?
Yes.
Those that who form part of Kwaito, those who form part of Kwai Jazz, those who form part of a house and its different forms, and looked at where the gaps were and started plugging in there so that it produces holistic, entertainers that looks at the commercial elements, that looks at the distribution, that looks at the reach, but ultimately that looks at a longevity. Will you say, because of as they came into the fore, there were those that were preceding them, and that helped in shaping them to avoid some of the pitfalls that their predecessors would have fallen into?
I think, thank you. Thank to God for COVID, because I think during COVID.
You can't thank God for COVID. I understand you, but
when I'm saying
it destroyed.
When I say thank God for COVID, because of like a lot of infrastructures that were there during pre-COVID, they were there as infrastructures of the form of discipline to say this is how the tradition of the things that must be done. But during COVID, TikTok may became the platform.
Big thing,
backroom studios became a thing where people are now saying, I'm at home, I can still work.
Yeah.
After the COVID, no songs or things were played on radio.
Yeah.
It has changed a point whereby the things are being done in the music space, because a lot of kids that nowadays, they just wake up and say, they put the phone, and then the next thing they're trending, the next thing they're traveling. So it has changed the way things are being done within the space, because looking back and looking how they do things around, you could think a way of how they do it. It's just a cell phone, what you have within you, next thing can trend.
Yeah. And I guess beyond trending, the opportunity has been to actually self-actualize.
That's how it is.
Self-actualize, but also create a living.
Yes.
And what might have started, as joining the trend or just being part of the cool gang,
yes,
ignited what you might have not even know that is in you.
Yes.
Which now it's helping in making it a sector. So when you look at how the likes of New Orleans, is revered as, the home of jazz and the ecosystem that it builds there. If you look at how Los Angeles, the city itself, it's revered for quality film production and the ecosystems there. Superstars there, the type of houses that you build there, the big Hollywood star, on top of the mountain, we just resonate with that genre. Or that subsector of the creative and cultural industries, which is films. So you get now quality film production,
Yes.
quality technicians on site, quality script writers on site. Well, you say this has also been the case for the Amapiano genre. Those that are writing are now having more clients to write for. Those that are producing are having more to produce for, and I guess you can never run short of a quality playlist.
I right now I was thinking about it, or maybe talking about it some other day 2 weeks ago. I'm saying in South African artists, producers, they're becoming DJs, producers, songwriters, while in America everything is being categorized to other people, that you're not allowed to be a songwriter. Everything must be cut off. But looking into the space of Amapiano where it is right now, it has made producers to be more DJs. It has made more photographers to get more jobs. It has made the guys that normally produce for masters to create jobs for, in a pillar where everybody is eating the cake to the core, even to the point where you're getting a dancer. There's still a stylist on it.
Yeah.
Getting a DJ, there's still a makeup artist. The way that it's an economy on its own, where you never expect people to really realize this thing is really empowering each other.
Yeah. But would you say it's a hurdle where you also now having almost jack of all trades and nobody specializes and masters in a specific area? So when you are a DJ, I understand that
Yes.
it actually makes sense that you also produce your own music so that you play your music.
Yes.
But are those that are just gifted in producing? Does it put pressure now on those that regard themselves as producers? Quincy Jones has never wanted to be a Michael Jackson.
It's given a point whereby every day these guys we're expecting a new person every day.
Yeah.
Amapiano, you can't even being comfortable. Being comfortable, you're gonna find yourself in a space where no one can even say to you, "You're the guy for the next coming 3 months."
Yeah.
You wake up tomorrow, there's a guy trending.
Yeah.
So the guys that are really being producers, they can't relax.
Yeah.
They can't be in a point of saying, "Good, no, I think this is where I'm going. This is where I can collaborate." It's just have to keep on working.
So that keeps them on their toes.
Keep them on their toes, making sure that I'm on the studio every day.
But this sudden, emergence, how sustainable is it, Thulani? How sustainable is the fact that every day there's a new person trending? I have lost counting how many dance moves have been produced out of Amapiano songs in the past 2 years. When the rest of the world tries and catch up with a specific dance moves or challenge, South Africa is 200 steps ahead.
For me, it scares me to say the sustainability within the Amapiano space, because majority that's happening within the space, it's all over in infrastructure. The infrastructure within the space of Amapiano, it's not there to teach these kids about how to take care of certain stuff, like, for example, to take care of money issues, to take care of their brand, to take care of their way, how to gig, to take care of their touring, and also all this other stuff. All they just do and wake up, they just rock.
Yeah.
But when you look into it, give you like a 3 months, it works in 3 months' time. It's not safe. Sustainability on the space of it scares me.
Yeah.
Because you're dealing with kids that they just graduated from matric.
Yeah.
They haven't been to school. The next day, they're expecting certain amount of money.
And boom, they trend after.
The next thing they trend, then they don't want to go back to school.
Yeah.
So it's kind of making sure that this kind of implementations of guiding these kids how to do things, it's very much more needed because majority of these kids are from what is it? I could not say like rural areas. This advantage background, KONKA, where most of it they're running away from drugs abuse. They just go straight to say, no, I think music can save my life. So it needs more like a bit of education to sustain, to make sure that these kids know about the sustain.
And I guess that's where the likes of yourselves comes in.
Yes.
I mean, last year we saw the inaugural launch of the Amapiano Summit.
Yes, that's true.
And you want to tell us more about the platform, what it does, and how this could be one of the, tools that whoever is listening to us, whoever is watching, wannabe producers, DJs, can leverage out of this particular platform.
It's been the most exciting moment within the space where I see myself with my young brothers, that we're able to come together to educate each other and share information. Because when we launched the Amapiano Africa Awards and the summit, it was for more of like, how do we take our knowledge, our resources to preserve them to the next level, because most of these guys, we don't share enough information. Like, we're so excited that there was SARS this year.
Yeah.
She talking about
I saw SARS was there, and I was quite excited also that this is a step in the right direction.
We saw like a few stakeholders came in there. The Department of Small Businesses was there to speak about the business within the Amapiano space, because when you look around those Amapiano entertainment industry, it's not only an entertainment sector. Everybody's getting paid.
Yeah.
Everybody are working. So we're more into like, how do we bridge the gap between those kind of stakeholders to come and educate the kids, and also make sure the workshop it's becoming more informative to each and everyone. So Summit is there for everybody to come and learn and also explore ideas within the music industry.
And how is this platform reaching out to, those that are able to come, in person, those that are, I know Gauteng has been an integral part of this summit. The province have declared and accepted the tag as the official home of Amapiano. Therefore, if you have such support and almost policy pronunciations that says we are striving to position ourselves as this destination, because I guess such clarity is important in the work that you do, so that you are not reprimanded later on to say, but we are focusing on gospel, or we are focusing on choral here.
Yes.
And why are you doing something that is off-brand? So to what extent does that almost policy declaration and destination brand and comms marketing declaration of what characterizes this destination helps in you using your platform, the Africa Amapiano Awards and Summit, to actually increase its access to those that are in the townships, to those that are in informal settlements, in hostels that might not have access to come to the summit themselves? Any specific outreach activities?
First of all, as the province is being divided to 5 municipalities.
Yeah.
Each and every time when we realize that we need to go out there to the municipalities to partner with them to showcase and speak about them, the the activities and also share the information, and also try to outreach ourselves to the sector of economic development, businesses that are affecting the township, and then bring back everybody to the summit through transportation, online implementation of YouTube, and also activities within YouTube. So those are kind of things that we've looked into the Department of Sports, that we really need to make sure that we reach to the kids that are unable to come to the main event. So during the year, we need to have programs that are out there,
that are region based.
Yes.
So speaking about the 5 regions, and you have been to all these regions,
Yes.
you know what is on the ground.
Yes.
Would you say there is a different outlook and characterization in terms of the sounds? So are you able to tell that this is a piano from the VAR?
Yes.
This is a piano from Shosha. You know, it's not just Shosh Plata because
Yes.
it's a number, but this is a piano from East Rand. And
Piano from South.
This is piano from Soweto. And this is, you know, a piano from Kagiso in the West Rand.
That's the most exciting sound belief within us as Amapiano kids. Like when you know you have the kings of them Tuda, Jaivani, what's the other one? Tim Mosha. There's a guy called Tim Mosha from Pretoria, vocalistic, Dada Man, DJ Maporisa, Kaza the Small, Sean 101, who's the other kids from the other side, same deep. Those are different people.
Yeah.
When you divide, not even divide, you could hear with their sound, because of most of the time, I think like they grew up within the different camps. The Bacardi sound.
Absolutely, I was coming to that.
The Amapiano, what is it? The private school, the jazz within it, and then there's Kwaipi. They mix it now with Kwaito, and then there's another one in Soweto, it's Kitongo. Which one?
So what's that?
It's Kitongo. It's kind of like a
garage sound.
It's garage sound, because when you listen to it, it's a bit of like a bit of a log. What is it? Log drum. So there's tend to be more of like a different sound elements within it. From what is it? Soweto sound, because Soweto, I think, is the hub right now where all these kids they're from Soweto.
Yeah,
they more a different.
Yeah,
I think every 3 months there's a different sound
that comes out
from Soweto.
Yeah. So as we reflect, and still on there, I mean, many people can't even relate to the linkage between Bacardi and piano, because back then, you know, there were specific genres that, because of how musical distribution and platforms are structured, and that's way before we have, you know, the proliferation of social media channels, and some of the streaming platforms that are out there, which we'll come to later on in the show. But taxis, and specific taxis, you know, kids will choose going to school a specific taxi for their transportation because it pumps in a specific sound.
Yes.
And I've always been saying, but how am I this one's gonna concentrate in class when already in their way to school there's been
listening to music?
Yeah, not just listening to music at that volume. You know, for me it was just the blast that gets in there. So will you say, and you think there's an appreciation and a preservation of that channel, especially with the genre that got to be synonymous, you know, with taxi infrastructure.
Yes.
I spent a lot of time in Pretoria, so I know how Bacardi and the taxi system, you know, are so interlinked, and how that became an important channel to distribute music, which traditional platforms were refusing to take. Mainstream record companies were refusing to take, but every day those sounds were pumping in the taxis.
As I'm speaking to you, as you're speaking right now, and I'm here with you, the biggest song that's trending in Amapiano space, it's Tobeta.
Yeah.
And there's a big sound of Mukwanti or Pretoria.
Yeah, back, yeah.
Back.
Yeah.
So what happens, these kids from nowadays, Maestro, remix it with the vocalistic first of all,
Okay.
with Sean Music from Pretoria. Now it has dropped 3 times.
Yeah.
That song, it doesn't change.
There's 3 remixes.
It's 3 remixes. It hasn't changed. It hasn't like lost its touch. Still the same sound, but lyrics changes.
Yeah.
Because of the mood and the tempo of where we are as a country right now. And towards that, I'm saying to you, Amapiano has been contributed so much by the guys in Pretoria, the likes of King Mosha, because they were the first. I think there was the first group of guys before DJ Somebody came in with the piano. Because I remember the time where there was Tim Mosha, they were playing Twara.
Yeah.
Twara, the sound of that element, make sure it contributed towards coming to Santin, because we're not closer to that sound. Yeah. We're not even closer to it. Mara, when it came in and when it happens like that, it changed the narrative around this guy. This sound is here.
Yeah. And still on the Pretoria side, because I'm one of those that believe that our country's capital city, it's underutilized.
Yes.
It's the hub of the country, is the capital city.
Yes.
Pretoria represents South Africa.
That's true.
That is why in the global international relations space, when they refer to South Africa, they say Pretoria says.
That's how it is.
So,
Pretoria.
So the songs of Pretoria, so we rolled out a campaign which we still need to firm up with support from the likes of yourselves and your ecosystem on how we are able to firstly teach the rest of the people in South Africa how to speak Pretoria. And when we start seeing it in the songs, will you say using music helps in creating an identity for specific spaces? And when you combine all of them, you now have multiple identities that people, firstly in those spaces, sees themselves in what it's put out. Therefore, they are easily able to accept and share it because they see themselves and they hear themselves in it.
I think it's very accommodative, the Pretorian sound and the Pretorian language, because I think 90%, and we're so lucky and appreciative for DJ Maporis.
Yeah.
For making sure he brings all these kids in Pretoria, because I think the majority of the songs that comes out of the year, they're Pretoria.
Come from that space.
Yes, they accommodate us, and now we're able to learn.
Yeah.
What's the Pretorian language?
But how does that filter in, Thulani, through platforms like the Amapiano Africa Summit? How does that filter into to formal structures? I mean, you are always in Pretoria in Minister McKenzie's office there.
Yeah.
You are always with the National Heritage Council's guys there. I mean, you have the Innovation Hub, head office is there in Pretoria. So to what extent does, this filter into formal structures? Does the presidency knows that this is the sound of Pretoria, therefore an important sound for the country? Therefore, when you welcome heads of states at the Union Building,
yes,
this is part of what should characterize when there are formal events. And with due respect to other songs that have characterized our events, do you have formal sessions, the welcoming of visiting head of state, the unveiling of a museum in Pretoria or whatever? That includes the characteristics of Pretoria, like its songs. Do you think enough is being done? Because everybody's in their box. The people at DERCO will tell you, Baba, wait, my job is to make sure protocol is followed. Everybody. So
it's so painful.
Those who says you guys are failing in embedding that, what do you say to them?
It's so I don't know, maybe to say not disappointing or like it's a struggle within officials, because every day we must actually start to teach them what's Amapiano.
Yeah.
explain to them, make sure they understand it, and then they are okay, cool. I think I like that.
Yeah.
Then until it's after work, and then, oh, you mean this song? So it's more into like preserving it first to understand. Okay, this is how we must put the structure of how do we roll it out to all the officials. Because a lot of people, not even a lot of people, a lot of officials, they struggle to understand what's the sound.
Yeah.
Until their daughters, their family members send it to them. This is my favorite song. It's kind of into a place whereby all the department that we work with within the entertainment space, they struggle to make sure that we preserve this thing. We're giving it platform where it deserves it to be. And I like that we need to be starting to giving out to the presidents where they welcome states. How do we do the soundtrack of it?
But I want to put it back to you. It's up to the movement. It's up to the.
I don't think so.
To the space. Make proposals. There's going to be the State of the Nation address in February. You know, it's standard. It's February.
Yes.
Just to give you an example, the fashion industry, coordinated by Proudly South African, over many years have been able to engender a Wear Local campaign, and members of parliament, as they trot through that red carpet during the State of the Nation address, part of what they do is to showcase their Proudly South African designed outfits.
Yes.
Because State of the Nation is also that occasion where people are dressing up, members of parliament are dressing up, the guests are dressing up.
That's true.
The president even indicates when he speaks that this suit I'm wearing is made in South Africa. What stops the musical genre group to do that? There was no special dispensation created for the fashion industry, or they didn't get a backdoor access. What stops the State of the Nation address session to open with an Amapiano soundtrack? Because in the country and even in the globe, there's an appreciation that this is a South African sound.
I think maybe it takes time because we've been sending emails to the Proudly.
Maybe you must send the music, not the email.
Must send the music.
Yes.
Okay. Was that?
So maybe attach
the song.
Attach the song in the email.
Yeah, we must start doing that because sending proposals it takes time.
Yeah. So attach the songs to the email and say, these are the impacts. The numbers are there.
Yes.
This is what this song have done globally.
Yes.
This is the reach what this has done globally. This is what this has impacted in terms of economic and social benefits. These are the kids that didn't know what they were going to do after matric. Now, they are not just pioneers. They are not just pumping Amapiano. They are even now learning and studying to understand the music genre holistically. They are going to music schools and the like. So, sending emails might be a challenge. Sending an email with a song, they will be able to download and listen to it.
That's how it is.
You get.
No, I understand it.
Yeah, because for me, it's how do you then introduce what is traditionally non-formal into formal spaces. South African Airways, Thulani, and not because you are here and you are part of the cats. You know, when you sit there, you are on a flight to Walvis Bay, you are in a flight to Botswana, or you are in a flight to Nigeria with South African Airways, at least 4.5 hours on a flight. And then once you are done, you go into that screen, you select, you see the movies. Are you able to tell me how many playlists and how many Amapiano songs are there in that screen?
We've never been into the space of ensuring that.
Yeah. So I have 4 hours flying to Lagos, and I need to listen to something or watch something. Don't you think there lies a space where I have a playlist of different South African Amapiano kids that I can listen to? There lies the movies that are played there,
the documentaries,
the soundtracks that are there. The last powerful Amapiano documentary I saw was commissioned by BBC Radio some 3-4 years ago. and play it on,
2022.
play it on BBC. Is this an indictment on the sector? Because surely government doesn't make documentaries, government doesn't produce movies. Therefore, those that are producing movies, music, and overall creative content is up to them to ensure that they also utilize non-traditional distribution channels. Do you look at that airline and that entertainment inside the airline as a distribution platform?
Definitely a well, and not even a big opportunity for South African content creators, and also finding a way how do we sell our culture, because we have almost like 5 to, I could say maybe to go to London 12 hours being on the flight, where now you're able to find yourself listening to your South African things. I think it's in a point where we've been preaching out to these guys. Now we must just need to attach what we're talking about, because this thing of sending emails is not working.
Because I mean that doesn't need that doesn't need a minister. It needs SAA and its team to approve.
We've engaged the not even the South African Airways to even Airways Lift and what is this thing? Fly Safari for all their flights to come to Cape Town on the Cape Town mission every year, because a lot of people spend 2 hours to go to Cape Town on a flight. But what are they going to Cape Town to do? Are you going for a business, or are you going for majority of people that are going to Cape Town are going for financial?
So as you know, this is a platform pioneered by Advisit Gauteng.
Yes.
So Advisit Gauteng is available at your disposal.
Yes.
All flights that comes to Gauteng, how do we partner to ensure that we don't talk about it again next year, but we actually reflect how it has happened? Sort out the music distribution and royalty issues. Let's create a working partnership that enables win-win for everyone.
Yes.
And let's collaborate and use the proximity and influence to do this. If Thulani, you get on a Middle East flight, whether it's Qatar, whether it's the one that goes to Doha or Emirates or all of those Egyptian airline, when you are in that plane, you are fed content of the carrier. You are shown the pyramids in Giza. You are shown what is out there. And it's up to the creative community working together with the multi-stakeholders to be able to leverage this. And that's how that gets distributed. TikTok is fine. All those other platforms are fine.
True.
But there are non-traditional channels that may even come at a very non-cost-effective manner, that are come at a very cost-effective manner, that it makes it easy for artists to leverage and utilize. So all of a sudden, the on-air entertainment platform caters for audio, it caters for video,
That's true.
it caters for imagery that might be models, it might be commercials, but it also has still traditional magazines.
Yes.
So you can imagine if there is a write-up, a full 2-page article on Sawubona about the story of DJ Stocky and his meticulous rise in his home township and his unique sound and how he revered. There's an article there on Sawubona. I'm reading it. But once I'm done reading it, after 15 minutes, I'm able to go on the screen and I'm able to get Stocky's sound.
Yes.
Don't you think there lies an opportunity for the different partners to be able to leverage this?
It is a great opportunity, because at the end of the day, it's selling our heritage.
Yeah.
And also it's selling our culture towards the world of like, this is what is happening in this space. And also, how do we, how do we give young people a chance for them to make sure that they see themselves in the different platforms?
The genre, Thulani, to what extent does it contribute towards a messaging? How do we look at Amapiano and say Amapiano's content, lyrics, culture, without it being diluted or without it being somebody's mouthpiece, helps in even addressing some of the social ills? It could be issues of gender-based violence, you know, without necessarily also censoring creative talent. It could be issues around an action against xenophobic views.
That's how it is.
You know, it could be an action around an onslaught on the LGBTIQ plus community. You've heard you've probably heard so the saga at my where a certain member of the LGBT community were chased out because of some beliefs and the like. Do you think that the Amapiano genre, which is so revered in our country and globally, can play a role in sending and addressing some of the social ills that painfully continue to characterize our community and the society we live in?
Definitely, because I'm looking into the way Sarafina used to be like, how Sarafina came out, and taking it back towards the songs that meaningfully make messages of Amapiano. For example, in the song of Angelique saying Nanatula, I'm going to work. Those are some of the messages that we live into a daily space where human beings are going to work. So those are chances where we need to look into the opportunities with the national film. What is it? National Filming
Foundation.
Those are, I think Amapiano is not only about music, it's a culture of a movement where it addresses South Africans' culture and its own daily living because of the songs that are too personal to certain people. So I think it's in a point where we look into it to say, how do we address and how do we message towards the country's interest?
Is that enough? Do you think the genre is doing enough? And I'm putting you in a spotlight deliberately here. Do you think the genre is doing enough? 16 days of non-violence against women and children is coming now. In a few days.
The first week of December.
16 days. Will we, in that 16 days, as the genre, because you don't plan and make a proposal 3 days before the start of the 16
That's
days,
true.
Don't you think there lies an opportunity once again to look at this? Specific soundtracks and songs that are a hook with that, drum lock, with that unique identity that is just uniquely South African, gets produced to help amplify the messaging around non-violence against women and children as you observe 16 days. That goes with the messaging that every public and private broadcaster gets shares. Overlaying that is your song, is your sound, is your identity. But that identity, that song, that sound is intertwined with a call to action message. Not just about how women look, not just about how men that looks in a different manner, men that might be soft or men that identify themselves in whatever pronoun, get characterized and labeled by the genre. And this takes me back to how in the advent of Kwaito, certain lyrics and the criticism of Kwaito were about lyrical content. And to say, but how does children listen to this music in front of their parents?
That's true.
Now you have a powerful platform that even parents embrace. And now they are allowing their children to go actually pursue their career, to dance and to share with the world. Don't you think there is an opportunity missed to utilize this to send in a powerful message? Similar to what I said around the opening of Parliament in February around
I
engendering?
think to looking into these opportunities of this thing, there's so much to be done. And I think, like, I don't know, maybe it's myself or
Your
the sector
collective.
or a collective, but they're looking into it right now. I feel like there's so much needs to be done because of, like, not only believing in governmental officials, but I think our role in the music space, and there's those certain songs that are being played out there. I think we need to start bringing to the society messaging of it, and
Yeah.
also help on encouraging and minimize the issues that within the space.
Yeah. And without necessarily hopping on this issue because of time, and taking cue from the gospel, the religious, the Christian community,
That's true.
at any occasion, a gospel song rocks the place. Whether it's a funeral, you are able to play that. You are able to play that at a wedding.
Yes.
You are able to play that at a welcoming of King Charles into South Africa. You are able to play that at welcoming of the president of Lula da Silva. And sometimes even the language in the genre doesn't matter. It's the sound. If I play angelical bells and sounds, or the Romans angelical bells and sound,
That's true.
I can even picture walking into that chapel. There's no language that is in Italian there, but that's how the sounds got to be globalized, and everybody now understands this. So the song that you play when the bride arrives at the wedding, everybody plays that songs.
That's true.
Globally,
Like I'm nigga.
So what do we have that could form part of that, so that we're able to take advantage of little things that have huge impact? I just gave you an example. What do kids at kindergarten now sing? We used to sing, those songs, that were very repetitive, Tlhogo Magetla, and all of those, using this genre
Yes.
and its popularity. What do you, as a sector, contributes to language proficiency and appreciation of our culture and identity through songs
Yes.
in kindergartens? I want to criticize you and say you are not catering for that community. Your response?
We're not even catering for anybody right now, because our genre at the moment, they're saying it's what it's it used to. What is it? The other genre, it used to be what is it? The best first genre of Mami Von, bubblegum.
Oh, bubblegum, yeah.
So our genre is being called what? No, this is the dust street information. These kids don't want to take this at home. You can't sing that. So we haven't been catering for anybody, because most of the songs are mostly about alcohol.
Yeah.
That are mostly trending.
Yeah.
So we haven't catered. I think we need to start doing that, because looking into everything that's been happening around, I think you're making me looking back, and also start to think of how can we align ourselves.
Even alcohol, Thulani, is there a song that calls for responsible drinking? Using the hook around alcohol, because there's nothing wrong with alcohol.
No.
But the central message is responsible drinking, and its effect and its glaring linkage with the unprecedented levels of violence against women and children, unprecedented level of unrehabilitable gambling, and many other social ills that we see. So my challenge to you and your cahoots and the rest of the sector is, how do we use this popularity, this social currency, this impact that this have, to equally address social good? There's a proliferation, highest concentration of proliferation of fake alcohol, which harms the alcoholic industry, which threaten the jobs that are in that space. The biggest supporter of music and the creative sector in terms of events and the like is the alcoholic companies. To what extent does the sector then say, let's join hands with Alcoholic Anonymous or many of these platforms in using this powerful tool that we have to advocate for a change? Still with that rocking lock drum, still with that tantalizing dance moves, still with that lyrical melody that characterizes the sector, because now you are dealing with anti messages. It doesn't mean you must then moot your creativity, because that's what people want to see.
Yes.
You know, where I want to give credit, I am now able to go to my own house church on a Sunday and play church Amapiano grooves or church dance music grooves. And for me, that's how you then break the barriers. But there are specific things that I've seen the likes of Takopitori, doing, and big out to Takopitori. They've produced a film, a movie in Pretoria that addresses specifically Juku Lane and Shoshanguve crime issues. And the artist and every part of Pitori creative space are part of that film. And I think we need to be supporting such initiatives. But I guess you have heard my criticism, and I'm more than ready to work with the team and our team to look at how do we turn this criticism into call to action that the sector can embrace. But as we move towards wrapping up, we spoke at length about the Pretoria Amapiano sound and the Bacardi. We spoke at length about the Soweto and the backyard stuff. What about the other space? Let's talk about the East Rand, for example, which still claims that it's the actual birthplace and Kasi Amapiano in Gauteng. Alexandra still says we are actually the ones that birthed this thing.
Yes.
Everybody copied from us. So for me, it's not just the sounds that characterize those spaces. In your reflection, what is the sound in Alex? What is the sound in Amapiano? What is the lay of the land in those spaces? It might be hype stars. It might be infrastructure that is there, yes, or that is not there that we need to build. That can deepen, this in terms of localities. At least in Soweto, I know there's a piano hub. So what do I get in Davidton?
And I win.
Yeah. Does it know that it's a representation of Davidton and the East Rand piano movement that is unique to that space, that must be shared with Gauteng, shared with South Africa, and shared with the world?
I think most of the spaces that are happening in the East are, there's so many kids that are coming from in East Rand.
Yeah.
For example, there's this thing called the DNKY going in Davidton, and away in Full Snow. Mapuma Tuesdays, that's happening that side. Springs, Whiteview, Hangout, Tembisa, what's the other one? Parliament. Biblos. So there's more infrastructure that are in there in East Rand, where they are giving us a talent every year. Yeah. There's so much kids that are coming out of East Rand. For example, Scott Mapuma is coming from that end, Young Stana, Lady Two, Tattoo Hearts, and them. They're from the East. Those are the fresh new ones, where they're coming out of this thing where nobody really understand where they're coming from. They're from the East. When you come to Soweto, it's much more likely to have those kind of places like Piano Hub, the Milk, SNK, Magubenjalo, the reopening on Monday.
Oh, lovely.
So there's so many spots that are happening in Soweto, but the place that doesn't have enough, it's Alexander, which it has only the Vibes on Main and what? Yeah, Vibes on Main. The rest are not even there.
So there lies an opportunity. As everybody knows, there's a piano hub.
Yes.
So I'm not sure if you were following, for example, the New York City mayor elections.
Yes.
Um, Mayor Zoran now, 35-year-old, former rapper. He was in a rapping group. He's the mayor-elect of New York.
Mm.
His entire campaign was focused on, anchored by the creative industries. One of the first places he went to after the results were declared and it was clear that he is the winner, he went to a New York underground party and joined the DJs on stage.
I saw it.
You saw that?
Mm.
Do you think that's the direction some of our leaders, both in community and different spaces, should follow to utilize the power of music and the creative space to actually start communicating, sharing, and building inclusive visionary partnerships with localities and young people in a language that they understand, as you also reflect on the importance of having spaces that you could identify with the genre in our different localities. If there's only 2 spaces in Alex and there's so many people there in Alex, there is a business opportunity. Government can't go and open an Alex piano hub. Sure.
That's true. It's opening, by the way. It's on the way.
Yeah, so you are giving us exclusives.
Yeah, it's on the way. It's coming there.
Okay.
There's a place used to call Megalo. It's gonna be 10-2 piano hub.
Yeah.
Alex, what I'm mostly putting out this one for us. For I think our environment is in a different space with our officials or politicians, because I feel like the more they come to our space, the more they forget about the delivery space and the more the criticism comes. But I think that's when they trying to make comfortable with us.
Yeah.
But in giving them a space to come and chill with us, I think there could be a criticism of how do you spend so much time with us while you supposed.
But you are not the pera, or you are not the glipsy where when people are sitting with you, you contaminate them. You are not covert. You are just an important space that shapes the narrative.
The other day, this past weekend, we were sitting with the MMC of transport, Mr. Kenny Kunene. He came to Piano Hub.
Yeah.
The next thing when you go home, he was trending, say, no, why does it want there? So I think
but it's up to you and everybody to change that narrative.
Yes. So towards me, to my point of understanding and letting them, I think it's much more needed for our officials to come spend time within the creative space so that they can see the challenges these young people are facing and also see the opportunities that are lacking within the space, so that we understand what needs to be done. We understand, okay, cool, this needs to be solved like this. So I think like the next way we could be able to speak about it.
And I'm happy, Thulani, that you are taking that line, and it's something we need to aggressively as a team pursue. The politicians are human beings.
That's true.
There's a video of former President Barack Obama that I saw when he has a specific, when he goes to his hood, he has a specific barber shop that he goes to, that he used to go there when he was 15.
Yes.
A specific sushi chef.
Yes.
That he goes there and recommends.
That's how it is.
You know, a specific music genre. You saw him during the presidential election campaign, holding bars there, lyrical rapping bars. But that makes us to also start looking at our politicians as human beings.
That's how it is.
That's how
all
it
humans.
is. So for me, there lies an opportunity to socialize, because Africa has a very youthful population. And if you have Africa's leaders detached from the demographics that they are leading, there lies a disaster, because you will then gonna have leaders that are detached. And music, as Madiba have indicated, together with sports, has the power to unite. And for me, there lies an opportunity you are missing. So as we wrap up, and I know you are now enrolled and you are actually studying to be an official tour guide that takes people in the Amapiano route. And this is something that we have been championing and personally championing for many years. And I'm excited to see you being one of the first who raised their hands and say, Baba, where can I get the badge? What is the curriculum? I want to go there because just in this conversation, you have rattled more than 20 joints that are across the different regions of Gauteng that I don't even think they are on our Visit Gauteng mobile app that viewers and listeners can access on Google Play or on iStores. You can imagine we create a subcategory in that app that says piano hubs in the 5 region. There's Makubenjalo, there's piano hub in Soweto, there's this, and there's in Alex, there's this and this. And there is a taste and a playlist of the sounds that characterize those specific spaces. So that what we have been talking about, that the sound of Alex, the sound of Kagiso, the sound of Sharpeville,
yes,
the sound of Davidton, the sound of Shoshanguve is different.
yes.
But collectively, they make this bomb we call Amapiano. So if that is listed in the app, with all these spaces, and there's a playlist that you can took there. I now have a tool that I can take to SAA and say, plug this in your on-screen platform. The guys have given us the tool. The people that are flying all over will have access to this. So congratulations on the journey you have taken. And we're looking forward to get more. We hope you will produce more Thulani Ways that will represent this guide. A little bit about the program and what are you anticipating to get out of it?
Most of it to digitalize the sector of ours and share information on putting and corporatize it to get more brands on it, to get more experience on it. Because a lot of people that are in the space of Gauteng, I can see like we are in a space where we are within the corporate and government, just to bring them together to come and see. Let's take them around during the day of the week so that they can see where the money is going, not just to say on the night. Where we make it an experience with you when you launch a certain activities of the month, so that it makes more a space of showcasing South Africa and also Gauteng.
Yeah. So you know the French Prime Minister, President, is quite very youthful.
Yes.
Macron. So you have a 35-year-old New York mayor, you know. So as we are speaking now, the entire globe is congregating in Johannesburg for the G20 World Leaders Summit. And you have been part of the social summit where thousands and thousands of delegates are there.
That's true.
From your own point of view, how do you tell the delegates that are here, those that are staying over, because our G20 hosting is also coinciding with the start of the festive summer in Gauteng?
Yes.
I'm giving you an opportunity to tell them where to go, where to rock, and where to get memorable Amapiano sounds that they will never hear or see in any music videos. When they lift off those suits and jackets,
yes,
and they phone Thulani and say, the president wants to jam to Amapiano sound, where do you take them?
For me to make them feel comfortable, I could take them to Piano Hub in Soweto and also Makubenjalo. Take them to the place, what is this one? And Moja Cafe in Sunning. And I'll take them to T48 in Midrand. There's so many events that are happening, and also take them to Tembisa, the hangout. Easter and Ndaweni, but mostly to make them feel comfortable on during the week. During the weekend, I could take them to Santin. There's a place called Selavi by 24 Central, which is including, it can extend to a club, and also there's Luwe there. So giving them a space to say they come in and let's go. It's more of like being safe.
Yeah. So safety becomes crucial. So these chaperones, these guides, this program that you are part of it now, how do you move beyond the drive being from the hotel or from the meetings venue to the venue, the club, or the joint? What happens in between? What gets played in the transport that takes them there? Who tells the story there? What happens when they pass?
An iconic venue.
What happens when they pass? Do they even know the Angelic Studio? Is it even in the route? As you take them to Makube Njalo, do you say to them, this powerful Amapiano DJs, this is his family house, there is the back room? Don't you think there lies an opportunity around the new players as guides that are able to articulate what is
That's the most key player of going to school, to make sure that we're being accredited to create a route of Amapiano where we showcase the knowledge and the history of where this thing is coming from, where it's going, where we're gonna make sure that these people, when they get here, they're able to know that this is the safest place to be. This is the coolest place that I can sit down, and also make sure whatever that happens in there, there's someone that is getting employed. To make sure that he ushers the place, make sure it's clean and usher people to walk in. Those are kind of things that I'm so excited about, because none of the guys that I'm within the space of Amapiano, they thought this thing could happen. But it's giving them an opportunity to understand this is the place and the nice economy that we could achieve as young people.
So Alex says it's the home of Amapiano. Mamelodi, Pretoria, Shoshanguve, Atteridgeville, Hammanskraal says they are the home of Amapiano. So Wetu says it's the home of Amapiano. East Rand, Davidton, Kwatema, they say they are the home of Amapiano. But Kagiso says we have a unique sound there. We are the cradle of humankind. Therefore, the sound that comes in here is the original piano. Sharpeville, Sebokeng says Runara. Youngstana, Lesotho Sahaye, it's what characterizes the sound here. To somebody who's in this quagmire, who needs to know what is the home of Amapiano in Gauteng, and by extension to the rest of the world, will you say is?
I could give it to two space. I could give it to Soweto and East.
Okay.
Because Soweto, that's where we are every week.
And
also that's where the more normal kids are.
Right
now, we've been given to the new boys that have been rocking the new sound. Lately, it's given us the Scott Mapuma, the Youngster Anna, the M Tuda, the same T Booth. So I could say those are really like space that is happening right now, being threatened and showcased by Pretoria. I think that's where right now we're gonna able to hear the space of Kadi, DJ Maporis, and I think that's when it is right now.
Your reflection on the piano session Maporisa had and Kabza, one of the biggest at Loftus Stadium, and the need to have such in that organized manner. Not a cheap production.
No.
Just hiring that stadium out, it's a challenge, it's a resource issue. Will we see more of those? And what do corporates, what do municipalities, departments, and their infrastructure needs to do to appreciate the value of such, and the manner in which, for example, the Gautrain and the Prasa provided the infrastructure that make it seamless? I got a report that through that event, for the first time in the history of Gautrain, they were able to transport more than 18,000 people in a day.
That was the biggest night in the entertainment of Gauteng, whereby like the CEO, Mr. Tepo, was so excited because I think we were the number one when it comes to such eventing in Gauteng. I think it changed narrative, that event. It changed the narrative. It put us in a better position whereby now everybody knows what it is. And also the congratulations came in numbers, where the ministers are now saying, we see you guys, keep on making sure that you are there. I think it gives us a space to show that the genre is really working. And also it's continuing in the next year. It's an annual now. We're going to have a volume 2 of it. And also, I think more activities within the government space I wish maybe the jam must jump on.
Your reflection on those who are worried that the Amapiano music and its entire ecosystem is carbonized, is been chopped by the Nigerians. They are the ones that actually transmit this, not just in Nigeria.
Yes.
They transmit in the US and they transmit it under their own identity
Yes.
and custodianship.
That's true.
How do we ensure that that is clamped down on, but it doesn't necessarily become a gatekeeping issue that now stops the music from reaching specific fronts? Music is not meant to be confined to a space. Music is a fruit of life. It must be shared and appreciated by all. But how do you ensure that that doesn't jeopardize the hard work of the artist and everybody that gets involved in it and its identity and origin?
I'm so clear that Nigerians are able to work with us. And the Tanzanian, there's actually in Africa, there's different piano.
Yeah.
There's even a king in every city, in every country. Malawi, Tanzania, Nigeria, Ghana, and Kenya.
Yeah.
They have their own thing. What it makes sense for us where it is right now, Amapiano, you've seen it in this point where right now, and Nigeria is the closest country within the different countries in New York and UK. They've made it easier for these guys to be accessible. I think collaboration needs to take place within the government. Also, the officials of government need to host each other.
I saw a Thames and a Kabza on a commercial.
That's where where it
but that's where they didn't speak about fake alcohol.
No.
They should have used that opportunity to also send a message about responsible drinking and fake alcohol. I mean, the power of Kabza and Thames in that. I saw that nice collaboration. Your favorite Amapiano song, as we said right now, that you think actually characterize and tells the story of Destination Gauteng. It's a song, it's a piano song that powerfully represent the energy, the buzz, and the tenacity that is here, whether it's in the backyard studio, whether is it at Loftus, whether it's at Makubenjalo, whether it's at Biblos. This is the song that Gauteng, tourism, visit Gauteng, and its partners needs to package. It must be on the playlist of songs that tells and share Gauteng story.
I've got 5 of my favorite. I think it can work for Gauteng. There's a song called Wars Up by Lady 2. There's a song by Shakes and Les. It's called Hamba Nabo. There's a song called Abantwana Bako.
Yeah. Where
it represents the township of the kids wanna come out of the hood. And then the lastest one we've got, what is this one? Babalwa. Babalwa M.
Yeah.
With Kelvin Momo, Sisuga Gute, as the prophet has been far from the way it is. And then the last one, Ovalo.
100. And I guess that now summarizes the spirit because Ovalo Tina Asinamvalo.
No.
We are pioneering forward Sisuga Gute. And we can see the promised land.
Yes.
We are unleashing the gold that is no longer underneath. It is now housed in the piano cats and the 16 million people that are in the province. Thulani, thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate you. We're looking forward to get the actual artist to come and tell us why we are not collaborating. Why are they sitting on massive opportunity that can actually unlock? I'm looking forward to see February at the State of the Nation address, or at least let's start it at the State of the Province address.
That's how we must do it.
The piano movement showcased at that State of the Province address, Premier Lisufi leading in the forefront because this is the home of Amapiano. So thank you very much for heeding our invitation and
thank you for having me. This is home.
Participating in the show. With that, we are amplifying the message that we are the conquering sounds of South Africa's playlist of Amapiano. Not just the sounds, but the production and technical capabilities behind that. we are using our spaces and places to echo a message that we send to the rest of the world that visit Gauteng, Zwagala. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, I Love Gauteng, on Facebook. We are at Visit Gauteng on Instagram and Gauteng Tourism Authority on Twitter. Don't forget also to download and join the Visit Gauteng mobile app. You might be running a joint that offers conquering sounds of Amapiano. You might be offering food that are paired nicely with the Amapiano music. This is a chance to subscribe, to register, and all for free. When we list your product, your services, we are able to go to other partners and say massively, this is the cahoot that intends to drive the visitor economy in the Golden Province of Gauteng forward, not just in Gauteng, in South Africa and the rest of the continent. Until the next episode, second round.